I've been very lucky to have bought and done some videos and reviews on some really cool Phoenix Customs minifigures in the last couple of months. But something you might not know about me is that my first custom minifigure actually was one by Phoenix Customs, and I haven't done a video on it before, so there's no better time than now to do a review on the Phoenix Customs Collector. I'm Brick Radiop, and let's check out the figure. Phoenix Customs has become one of the top brands in the custom minifigure game. But when they started out, they were making really quality products, but the details weren't as amazing as they are now, limiting themselves a lot more to what LEGO would actually print themselves. And you can see right here with their packaging, it just came in a bag with a cardboard card of the minifigure, which might not have the same wow factor as their more contemporary metallic cards. I still think it's really cool to have the render of the figure, especially in this case with the collector's collection in the background. This is such a cool little poster and even adds to the collectability of this figure. But of course, the real standout in this packaging is the actual minifigure itself. I'm really excited to take a closer look. Let's throw it on the stand and check it out. Quick throwing the collector on the stand, and you can just see the amazing level of detail on this figure. There's all those small leaf shapes on the shirt and even on the beads. That's really cool to see. Matching the version that LEGO put up for Comic-Con. It has a little bit of leg printing with the dark red shapes on the legs. This cape, I believe, would be custom for the time. I'm pretty sure it's as close to the official one as you can get, but I don't imagine that cape being readily available. It might have only been on the collector figure, but should have done my research on that. I'm not actually sure. Moving that out of the way. There is also printing on the back of the torso, which is also equally amazing and has the same floral pattern. A little bit of shoulder pads coming around. One thing to say is that you can see the alternative face printing poking a bit through the back of the hair. If you're going to have a nice figure like this, you're probably putting it in a case or something anyway, and you won't be able to see the back of the head. But man, I love this figure. It comes with the orb, which actually was the power stone, one of the infinity stones. Just take that off quick. This is just what they used in the Guardians of the Galaxy set, so nothing super special, but works very well for the part. I feel like if this figure came out today, Phoenix Customs might have custom molded the orb or done some printing on it or something. And just take a look at that face print. The expression on this is really great, and again with those fine details like the little lip tattoo underneath the mouth. This is a great likeness for the character and looks so much better than the one that LEGO did. You know, the rest of the figure might be pretty comparable to LEGO's version, but the face is where it really stands out. Like I mentioned earlier, it also has the second face on the back of the head. Throwing the hair back on. And this is where my figure is a little lesser than, and I bought this as a damaged figure for a slight discount. There's a little chip in the mouth that you can kind of see at the bottom level of teeth, but I don't even display this figure with this face, so not a big deal. And at the time, it was easier to justify the cheaper version of the character anyway. That's kind of the funny story about this figure for me, is that this was my first business-savvy LEGO investment, where I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I was very bummed that the collector was locked behind the San Diego Comic-Con barrier for getting it. I saw that this figure was released and I knew I had to get it. I had previously been following Phoenix Customs, so I knew about them and really wanted their Gambit figure as well, but never ended up pulling the trigger to get that. But I knew I needed to get a collector for my collection, just because I had every Guardians of the Galaxy set, all the figures that came out in those, and just knowing that there was another character from the movie that was officially made by LEGO and I wouldn't have it kind of bummed me out. And this was definitely a good alternative. And looking back at it now, what a great figure to have in my collection. I'm so glad to have a grail like this. And this is probably my coolest custom minifigure and one of the best parts of my custom LEGO collection. Let's get the figure off and jump into the final verdict. Here's just a fun comparison. While they're not clearly related in the movies and the comics, these are brothers, Collector and the Grandmaster. It's kind of fun to have figures of both these characters. especially since they both have appeared in the MCU now and complement each other very well. And it's crazy, after all of these years, I'm finally back collecting custom minifigures. I started with this one, and it was the only one I had for almost a decade. And looking at it still today, this is such an amazing figure, and I'm so glad to have an alternative to the SDCC version of the Collector, and this version's even better anyway. If you want to see more custom LEGO videos, check out all the other ones on my channel. I've been Brick Radiop, and I'll see you in the next video.